I can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah, I was just trying to fake you out.
good. Yeah,
Yeah,
made me
yeah,
think I'm deaf. Awesome.
okay. Yes.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, man. Doing all right, doing good.
That's
But
good.
yeah, otherwise, yeah, I sent you that CarMax stuff because it's interesting, right?
Yeah,
It's kind of crazy. Like you were talking about the mortgage market before, the subprime stuff.
right,
That's basically the car market now.
right.
Yeah, I think you related to something else like whatever. Oh, the Bitcoin and crypto stuff. But
Yes.
I was like, yo, that's like close, but the car market is really closer.
So basically, what you're saying is instead of learning from 2008,
Yeah,
we applied that to other markets
yeah.
so that there's a bigger crash this time.
Correct. Yeah, because the truth is there's more volatility in cars, right?
Sure. Oh, yeah, of course.
Like especially I told you about my friend, his name is Alex, and he flips luxury cars like as
Right.
like a thing. It's not how he makes all his money, but like it's something that he like really enjoys doing. But I'm like just because a couple pieces of metal that like you can't live in really, like you can't live in a Ferrari. You can live in like a van maybe.
Sure.
You can't really
Sure.
live in you can't sleep in a Ferrari. I don't know if you've ever been in, but it's like
It's
it's
tiny. Yeah.
uncomfortable. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't lay back, right?
No,
So it's like, but yeah.
it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Mm.
I, I think, I mean, I don't know what your take is on this, but my take is kind of um, nobody understands economics,
Uh-huh.
and people in general are more worried about the short-term gain, the future be damned. And then when the future gets here, they're like, oh shit, you know, what's happening? I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy to me.
Yeah. Well, it's
I'm kind
called
of ranting, I guess, but
it's called short-term thinking is what I was going to say. That's basically what it is. Like
yeah,
it's like but it's like it's hard to like justify anything else because everything is so nobody feels good anymore. Like if you look at like my parents, like they worked at jobs for like 40 years of their life and they got a great pension and all this other
yeah,
stuff, right? How
yeah.
does that even happen anymore?
I
Like
don't
with
think
the
so.
government or like the fire department, like you've got to risk your life in burning buildings and then you get then all of a sudden you get checks because you risked your life. But
And you get pennies, and by the way, those checks are worth less and less every month because they keep printing money.
yep, yep. But you still get paid the same.
Right. Yeah, you still get paid the same. And if you're not, if your pay increase isn't keeping up with inflation, you're losing money every year, even if you're getting a raise.
So I was looking at this um medical facility. It's called Bumbagrad. It's in Thailand, and it's
Mhm.
like supposed to be the best medical services nearly in the world.
Mhm.
And like it's like 1/8 the cost. So look it up.
Really?
I'll send you. Yeah, so it's crazy. Like people are here and they get these pensions and stuff, and like they think, okay, yeah, I'm getting whatever, something a month, even Social Security, a couple $100 a month, maybe 2,000 if you're lucky and you hold out.
Sure.
The thing is, it can't even barely afford your medical care.
Right.
Look up Bumbagrad in the news. I'll send you a link,
Bumbagrad.
and then also what they do in Thailand and why people are flying to Thailand just to get medical care they can afford. There was one
So it's
story
actually cheaper to fly to Thailand and get
fly
there.
to Thailand, get the
Wow.
medical care, right?
Wow.
But it's supposed to
Says
be
a lot.
the best. I actually booked time to go there, but I didn't. I was actually supposed to go there like around this time just for a checkup and everything else, just because I want to check it out. But if you look at this place, because I saw pictures of it, and a couple of my buddies have been there. That's how I learned about it. But they have 5-star restaurants inside of the I call it a medical facility, I guess what you call it, because they have everything.
Yeah.
Then they have like McDonald's in there too if you don't want that.
Yeah.
But it's just like you spend the whole day there. And I look at
Okay.
how long, like I just got a blood test a couple months ago, and I looked at like, okay, only the reason that I got my blood test back like the next day was because I did it like all in that same facility. Like, but there they do everything in one day. So you go in at 7 a.m. and you're done at 7 p.m., but it doesn't feel like that because they've got everything you want in there.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
it's crazy. Like, and then of course, like the best doctors are going there. And what got me is I've been to hospitals and medical offices here for other stuff. I'm dealing with family stuff, and it's like
Yeah.
they'll have like a hospital, and they'll have like three nurses aides and one nurse on an entire hospital floor because
That's
they're
nuts.
so understaffed, right?
Right. Right.
And then you go to like Puerto Rico or something, everybody's just moving out, right? It doesn't matter how good people say it's getting, people are still getting paid more, and it's a better lifestyle. But
Right.
then you look at like Bumbergrad, and then like it's got my friend told me there were 19 nurses on one floor, and the floor
Oh
was
wow.
huge. But
Yeah.
the thing is, like, it's to every 50 people instead of for every one nurse, there's 50 people that are like waiting to get help
Yeah.
because
Right.
they're relying on these nurses' aides because like cost of healthcare is too crazy.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's nuts. I know in California, you know, a lot of doctors and nurses quit based on the vaccine mandate,
Uh,
and a lot more I predict a lot more are going to quit. I don't know if you heard about the new law that just went into effect. It's basically if you disagree, if you're a doctor and you disagree with the government's, you know, scientific consensus, if you have an alternative opinion, you could lose your license. It's it's crazy. So it's like Gavin Newsom is now everyone's doctor? Like what the hell is that? Yeah, it's nuts, man.
Yeah. That's a crazy thing about like I learned about because I have a couple friends that are doctors. I actually have a really good relationship with my doctor. I fly to New York just to see him.
Yeah.
Um, and like because he's so good, his dad was a doctor, and then like I look at why he's doing it. He's nearly in his 60s and he's still at it, like
Yeah.
still hustling every day. And he's like, Travis, you won't believe how much I work every day. I'm in
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
at 4 a.m. every day, and I leave at around 7,
Oh
and
wow.
I'm running around all day. And
Right.
people think like, oh, we're just seeing patients. No, but when I get there at 4 a.m., I'm reviewing like your medical records so that I can talk to you at when you come in at 1, right? And
Right.
he's like, he really cares, right? But he tells me, I feel like he tells me the truth, right? So when he says like you need to take vitamin D because African Americans are low in vitamin D deficiency, like I believe that, but I didn't know that
Yeah.
till I like talked to him and I understood. But then I also know that he's really influenced by like NYU Medical and what they
Mhm.
tell him to do because he's like, yeah, they tell me to tell you to do this, right?
For sure.
It's always
Yeah.
that sort of phrase. And then he's like, but here's the things you can do, right?
Right.
So he's highly influenced to like give me blood pressure medicine and get all this other stuff. And it's like, it's because he's told to tell you to do this. It's not because like it's his prescription. It's like he types in a computer and they have recommendations and he needs to follow those or he gets fired no matter how hard he works.
That's crazy. And as if, you know, obviously, like you said, there's issues where, you know, African Americans have vitamin D deficiency
Yeah.
in general. But on the other hand, like you're an individual person,
Yeah.
nobody else has your exact medical history, medical issues, whatever. You know, it's crazy to me that it shouldn't be focused on the individual patient in front of you. Like, yes, there are generalities, of course, but at the end of the day, you know, what's going on with Travis, aside from all the noise and aside from all, you know, yeah, it's I don't know, man.
And then also they're overstaffed. So like I was saying, like if you think about it, if it's like if it's in Bumbergrad, it's 19 to 15, and then it's really 1 to 50 on
Right.
a floor.
Right.
They're forced to just give you whatever is the quickest answer, right?
Sure.
They have to
They
like
don't have time.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
so the it's
It's
just
crazy, man. It's crazy. The everything's going nuts, like across the board, everything. I don't it's overwhelming to even know where to begin.
yeah.
I mean, I know, you know, there's some medical issues that, you know, me and my wife have wanted to go see a doctor about, but you know, even though we have insurance, it's still going to cost an arm and a leg, uh, you know, to go in. And it's like, and then now with this new law, it's like I don't even know if I can trust the doctor. You know, are you telling me that because it's good for me, or are you telling me that because you're afraid you're going to lose your license because the government told you something else? you know, it's kind of scary, man.
Yeah, it's the truth.
I don't know what else.
It
I
is.
don't know what else to say. It's frustrating.
There's no other way to put it, right? It doesn't even make sense. This is why like I'm all about like going to other countries, expanding, because I at least say whether you think America's the best place or not, like
I
there's other
don't.
places out
It's
there that don't. Well, do you still believe America's better than everywhere else?
no, I never really believed that.
Okay.
I think every place has its ups and downs. You know, I don't think it depends on what you're talking about, you
Like
know?
let's talk about like uh we talked about healthcare. That's
Yeah,
obviously no. Let's
right.
talk about
Oh,
like
the American medical care is terrible.
let's talk about just overall general lifestyle. Like,
Probably I would say probably no.
yeah,
You know, people are overweight. They have a bunch of, you know, if we're talking still medical, then yeah, I mean, if you just look at the overall physical health of our population, definitely no.
yeah. But you
You
can't
know, I
control,
think
yeah, you can't control people like overeating. Like so,
no,
I'm involved in a nonprofit, right? And there's this guy that was constantly incarcerated, and it was because he was just addicted to everything. So we
yeah,
took him out to the Hamptons. We have a place we used to go to. It's a nice beach house in the Hamptons that was donated to us, where we take people that were incarcerated, young men.
yeah.
And this guy, he just passed away. His name is Jeff. I forget his last name, but we'll call him Jeff for now, just to,
Okay,
for protect the everybody, the
sure.
family at this point. But he just committed, I believe he committed suicide. We aren't sure yet. But his funeral is in about a week. And I remember when it was in the Hamptons, and I remember when and my dad was there, and we got donuts, and it was like unlimited donuts at this donut shop that we went to because they found out what we were doing. And he just
Yeah,
kept eating donuts. He ate like 3 boxes of donuts in less than a day, maybe in less than a couple hours. And it's just because he's addicted to stuff.
sure.
And he can say it's his childhood and everything else, but like when are you going to take responsibility, right?
Right.
So we don't know what happened to him, but we can only like assess based on knowing him in the past that Jeff got addicted to something else, and that's why he ended up where that he's no longer here.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like when are people going to take responsibility? Yeah, there's always nature, nurture, all this other stuff, but when are you going to actually like, because that's what I think about it. So should that not even be the general overall category of of like, is this a good place to live? Like, because it's like you have to take responsibility for yourself too, because then the government will, right?
Sure. Oh
In
yeah.
some places, right?
If you
Yeah,
don't, they'll step in. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. I mean, you know, what where I think, you know, I read an interesting opinion, and I don't know if I 100% agree with it, but I thought it was an interesting take, and I'm just going to give you the bullet points. But basically, they were saying, you know, the thing that's great about, you know, America has lots and lots of problems. Obviously, anyone who's honest about it will tell you.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean they hate the country. That doesn't, you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But what he was saying was, even though America doesn't necessarily have the freest country, you
Mm-hmm.
know, you could make an argument for other places being more free. He thinks that America at least has the biggest like freedom culture. So, you know, people kind of buy into the hype a little bit, and
I'm
they
culturally free.
culture, yeah, culturally free, but like,
Yeah.
you know, the people tend, I guess I guess the point he was getting at was people in America are more likely to push back against you know, tyrannical measures, which I don't know if that's true or not. I think it depends on where you are.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
think so
I don't
many
know.
people are manipulated, right, by things. So that's the
Sure.
problem. Yeah, you have freedom of speech, but also like the other people have freedom of manipulation, don't they? Because they can do whatever, they can say whatever they want and push the same message out. That's why there's like Fox News, there's CNN, there's whatever, because they're
It's all
constantly
corporate.
pushing those. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all corporate. It's all owned by the same six companies,
Yeah.
and you're, you know, regardless if you're watching Fox News or MSNBC, you're swallowing a load of bull.
Just packaged in a different way.
Exactly. You know, packaged for the left leaning people, and then for the right leaning people, and it's, you know, it's yeah. I mean,
Do
you're
you
right. You're
do you
free to
watch
free to
Al
manipulate.
Jazeera, that news channel? Do you watch Al
Oh, I
Jazeera?
watch it sometimes.
Do you think it's pretty like the truth and what they're
No,
saying?
I think all news is manipulated to a point. It's
Mm,
just a matter of degree.
yeah.
You know, I think it depends on who's funding it, and it depends on who's giving it, because every single person has a bias, including me and including you, you know.
Mhm.
Um, and then, you know, if somebody like if Walmart is funding my news show, I'm not going to have a news story about how Walmart treats its employees terribly, you
No.
know, just as an example. I'm not saying they do or they don't. I'm just saying, you know,
You're
I'm
just
not going
saying they're
to.
rolling back prices. That's all you're saying.
That's all I'm saying. I'm saying they're buying Chinese crap and
All
you
right.
know. Uh, so yeah, I mean, that's an issue that we really need to address, and I think it is a little bit. I think after all the, I think people, I see more people kind of saying, well, wait a minute, you know, this was true, but this was a lie, and you know, Fox News told me this, and CNN told me this, and well, this was kind of, you know, I see a little bit more of that, which is, I see that as a positive thing, but
Even
it's
what you said, I gotta go now because I really had 20 minutes. But
okay.
even the C word that you said, like I can't even post this online because you said that C word, or you get penalized. You
Sure.
see?
Oh yeah, YouTube will
Yeah.
take it down.
Yeah.
Well, you can bleep me.
I can believe.
Yeah, you can bleep me.
All right. So one interview will do the whole thing just to bleep. That'll
So
be it.
yeah, the whole the whole conversation will do, like, man, they swear a lot.
Like, no, we're censored a lot. That's funny. All right. I'll talk to you later, man.
All right, man. Good to see you.
All right. See you.
Bye.